Recently published an article in Forbes Communication Council titled "The Revenue-Centric CMO Aligning Marketing and Business Objectives." And it was really more of a response article from a conversation I had with a CEO at a private equity-backed company, middle market, about $200 million a year in sale. And he responded, I said something and he responded, he said, "You don't talk like a marketer." And I replied, I said, well, you just told me for the last 30 years, you've continually let your CMOs go every 18 to 36 months. And so I'm like, so is it not a good thing that I don't talk like a marketer? And he was kind of taken back about that. He had to think about it for a second. So while this is kind of written for CFOs or CMOs, it does hold for agency owners, freelancers, or anybody, even if you're within a marketing organization, and for your job about, you want to get promoted, you want to make sure you have budget. Stop talking about the tactics that we do. Email automation, branding. I'll give the branding example, pay-per-click. You weren't hired to do any of those things. You were hired to help the company reach business objectives. Those are just the specifics about how you're doing something this week, today, perhaps this quarter. That's what you've been hired to do. So that's how you're going to help the company reach the business objectives. So on branding specifically, this was the example I gave to the gentleman, and I posted this on LinkedIn as well. And so often I hear marketers get pushed back when they say, "Hey, we want to run branding or awareness campaigns. We want to, do a brand refresh," and they get blank stares from the boardroom. They get blank stares from the people that are writing the checks because they're talking about brand. And outside of marketing, people don't understand that. And so, in the case of branding, I think how you walk them through this is to say, look, branding equals trust, and trust equals up to a 30% boost in annual recurring revenue. And that's not just from any of us making up the numbers. And so Forrester did a business trust survey in 2023 across a bunch of industries, but looking specifically at B2B, from that, 43% of buyers within the B2B space said that they frequently make the defensive purchase decision. So when they're looking at software to buy, they're buying, if there's an 800-pound gorilla, there's one dominant company, that's who they're buying. Or if there's, 3 or 4, they're picking one of those. And so if you're number 8 in a market of 10 or 20 companies, they're not going to pick you. And Forrester dug in even that much more and said, okay, of this 43%, how often do you make that defensive position? Basically, the people are saying, I'm wanting to make sure, even if I don't choose the best software, I just have to make sure that my boss doesn't know that I bought the wrong software, something that has a problem. So that 43% said 70% of the time, even if we like number 8 better, we're going to choose one of the larger brands. And so if you do the 43% times 70%, that means if you're not that largest brand, 30.1% of the time, you're not even in the running for a buying decision in there. So I was talking to the CEO and I said, so you all you're not quite the challenger brand, but you're definitely not the top 3. Did you ever even think about the fact that you've automatically lost 30% of your potential revenue year in, year out? And he started to somewhat freak out. And so that's the way to walk through speaking about brand, but also about anything we're doing is tying it specifically to the business outcomes that they're trying to reach right then. So it's worked very well for me for getting budget. It, in this case, helped the CEO, and I've used this in the past, help the CEO and CFOs understand when we talk about branding campaigns, awareness campaigns, there's a direct dollar figure, and we can tie it to that, and we can also show how that improves over time.